Now we're looking at Chapter 7, Section 2, on page 211, titled Conflict in the Athenian Empire. Now, you know how you might find it okay to make fun of your brother or sister. You might find it okay to punch or kick or push or steal from your brother or sister. But as soon as somebody else does it, as soon as somebody else makes fun of your brother, as soon as somebody else steals candy from your little sister, all of a sudden you feel like you have to take care of them. You have to let them know who's boss, and you're going to step in. Well, that's kind of how things went in Greece. The Greeks fought amongst themselves for years and years and years. But when the Persians started to attack Greece, well, they pulled together like brothers and sisters. Oh yeah? Well, sure. I've had plenty of problems with my brothers, but I'm going to fight you now, because you can't do that to them. Only I can do that to them. So, the Greeks united, and the Greeks held off Persia. And when they held off the Persians, they started to think that they were doing pretty well. They started to think that things were going their way, and they began to believe that the gods were on their side. In particular, Athens was feeling that way. Well, many of the Greek city-states agreed to work together, kind of like what we now consider the United Nations. They developed the Delian League. It was named after the island of Delos. And the idea was that all of the city-states would meet and work together, and they would have their headquarters at the island of Delos in the Aegean Sea. Everyone would bring their treasury there to be used by all of Greece. They paid taxes to the Delian League, and the money was kept at the island of Delos. Well, Athens, because they had defeated the Persians pretty much by themselves at the Battle of Marathon, and they had had a lot to do with the sea battles against the Persians, particularly at the Battle of Thermopylae, well, they got the feeling like they were kind of the ones in charge. They were due more than everybody else. They thought of themselves not as an equal brother, but more like the big brother. And some of that was understandable. They protected a lot of those smaller city-states. But after a while, they had enough power that they decided on their own to move the Delian League's treasure to Athens. And they put themselves in charge, and they demanded that the other city-states pay tribute, taxes, to Athens. So all of those other little city-states now were not paying into the Delian League, they were just paying Athens directly. And Athens was kind of acting like what you may have seen on gangster movies. They would suggest that maybe something bad were to happen if you were not to pay your tribute to Athens. Got a nice little city-state here. Be a shame if something bad was to happen. Because of that, Athens started gaining more and more power. It became more and more rich and powerful. And that's when things started to change. Those other city-states kind of looked at Athens as the mean older brother, and they needed to do something about it.